Okay. Yeah, yesterday was bad. I'm not gonna deny that. Yesterday was really bad. But you know what starts today, guys? The Washington Nationals 6-game winning streak. It starts today. All right? I checked the standings and I was very surprised that the Washington Nationals are actually only 3 games out the playoffs right now. I was very surprised. And yes, I'm already looking at the playoffs. So the Nationals are going to win 6 straight games and go 12-10. And that's our first best bet. We'll get to that in a second. But folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our NBA predictions for the play-in round, Hawks and Magic, Warriors versus Grizzlies. Make sure to check that out, link in the description down below. Along with our PFL 3 predictions, Impa Kasanganay and Fabian Edwards in the main event at 185 pounds this weekend from Orlando, Florida for the PFL. Go make sure to check out that video. It's the only MMA fight card of the week, and it's on Greedo Plays MMA. Go subscribe over there. We are nearing almost 1,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below on this channel and on that channel as well. Show some love over there. Okay, the first of our 5 best bets for today, it's the Washington Nationals money line. Okay, guys, it comes to a point where this team has to win a baseball game, right? They have to win one. And if you were wondering why we always talk about the Nationals every day and why I might be high on this team, this is my favorite baseball team. I've watched every Washington Nationals game for the last 8 years, okay? It sucks, I know. Except for 2019, that was fun. Anyways, the Nationals play the Pirates today. It's game 2 of this 4-game set. You know, as mad as I was yesterday, the Nationals lost 10-3. I was more just disappointed Dylan Cruz couldn't do anything off Paul Skeens like he did in his freshman year of college. But regardless, for as disappointed as I was in that game, I kind of expected it. I kind of wish they were, tighter in that game. They got the score to 5-3 at one point, and then, we left Jackson Rutledge in for a 3rd inning, and he got blown up. Oh, who would have thought after Colin Poche with a 20 ERA continues to pitch? Why does he have a job? Anyways, I saw it coming. I thought they were going to lose yesterday. I wished for a better effort, but this is the start of the win streak. And if they don't, at the very least, finish these last 6 games on the road trip 5-1, there's a problem, okay? If the Nationals can't come out of this road trip 500, I'm kind of just done with this team. We're still going to talk about them every day because I watch them regardless, and I think I do have a fairly good chance of winning best bets with these guys every single day. The under yesterday, I apologize. The Nationals bullpen's horrible. I didn't think they were going to be able to give up 10 runs to the Pittsburgh Pirates. I do think it gets better today. And again, if they don't finish the road trip at least 5-1 from here on out, I'm expecting 6-0. We have a damn problem. They better sweep the Rockies. I think they're going to. The Pirates, I think they should win the final 3. I really think so. Tonight is probably the toughest one left because you get Mitchell Parker on Wednesday. For as bad as Trevor Williams has been, I don't think it's a horrible matchup on Thursday because Andrew Heaney's in the mound. I know Heaney's been good this season, but lefty on the bump for the Pirates, I think we're okay. Ahmed Rosario comes in. I think we're all right against a lefty and Andrew Heaney. Tonight, I don't mind the matchup. Jake Irvin, Mitch Keller. You might look at Jake Irvin's ERA and you're going to say, oh, wow, it's 5.63. That's horrendous. And you might be right, but Jake Irvin gives up 4 runs in his last start against the Dodgers, a game that the Nationals should have won to sweep. They should have won to sweep the Dodgers, but regardless, Jake Irvin gives up 4 runs in the first inning, and he goes 5 innings after that, scoreless baseball, and only 1 hit allowed. That's some good stuff right there. So Jake Irvin had a very bad start to his season, gave up 2 runs, honestly, worked around damage in his first start against the Phillies, got roughed up in the Diamondback start, Corbin Carroll took him deep a couple times, and then the Dodgers start looked like it was starting horribly, but he bounced back and gave you 5 really good innings with 7 strikeouts, or 6 in total, but then 5, clean innings. So there's momentum building there with Jake Irvin. And for as much as the Pirates hit last night, guys, they scored their team high in runs yesterday. This is the most runs they've scored all year long, because of course it is, after getting shut out the day before and after losing a series to the Cincinnati Reds. This lineup is not going to put together back-to-back days of great bats, and they're just not, okay? Jake Irvin, I think he looked a lot better in the last 5 innings against a very good lineup of the Dodgers. I firmly believe that he's going to have a great night tonight against the 6-11 Pittsburgh Pirates. For as bad as the Nationals have been, they still have a better record than the Pittsburgh Pirates. They still do. I think Jake Irvin's going 6 innings, 2 runs. And I think that should put the Nationals in a very good position to win this baseball game. Mitch Keller has not been spectacular. His last start was really good against the St. Louis Cardinals. I think he's due for some regression. He got roughed up in the Yankees start like expected. The Marlins did all right against him. That's a scrappy bunch of guys. The Marlins piss me off, but they win games sometimes. Anyways, I think the Nats are going to be able to hit very well off of Mitch Keller. I'm not really too concerned about this matchup. The Nationals played the Pirates fairly well last year, especially when they got him in DC. They won 2 of 3 the first time around earlier in the season in 2024. I don't think it's a bad matchup. We've always thought there's going to be some trouble with Brad Lord on the mound. Obviously, he's taken the spot of Michael Soroka in the starting rotation, a spot that's eventually, I guess, going to be held by Jarlin Susana, even though I want him to be a relief pitcher. But we knew yesterday was going to suck. That's why we went the under. Didn't hit, but we knew Paul Skeens on the mound. Oh no, what's going to happen, right? Tonight's a much more favorable matchup for the Nats. They are struggling without CJ Abrams in the lineup, but I think it's a perfect bounce back spot. They've lost 3 in a row, which really sucks. But now this begins the 6-game win streak to close the road trip to go back to DC next Tuesday, 12-10. Okay? 6-game win streak starts now. Yep, let's do it. Oh, Nationals money line. I actually think for the value, it's actually really good, guys. For as bad as this team has looked, it's a favorable matchup tonight. And I actually don't think they're as bad as the record indicates right now, okay? I think they kind of have to turn it around. Nats plus 115. Second best bet of the day. Our daily nerfy of the day. This is out of order, but it's fine. This is off script. It's okay. This is completely out of order, but it's all right. We're just going to go with it. Padres Cubs. This was supposed to be the very end of the video, but that's fine. Padres Cubs nerfy. I don't mind it here. We got Shota Iminaga on the mound and Randy Vasquez. Again, the nerfies have been bad recently. I completely understand that. We're trying to bounce back today, and I think this is a very good spot for us. Randy Vasquez, not a guy who's going to give you the most, depth into a game. He might only go 5 innings. He might only go 6. But in his 3 starts this year, right, 6 innings pitch against the Braves, gives up 0 runs and 4 hits. The Cubs start, goes 4 2/3, gets roughed up a little bit, but it's okay. That's at Wrigley. This one's at Petco Park. And his last start in Sacramento at Center Health Field, he goes 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run against the Athletics. Okay, now you get Shota Iminaga on the other side. I know Shota got roughed up in his last start against the Texas Rangers. I'd expect a bounce-back start tonight against the San Diego Padres. I understand the Padres are hot right now. They're probably they look like the best team in baseball right now. They're 14-3. But yesterday the nerfy did hit. It did hit yesterday in the matchup between Dylan Cease, who has had a ice-cold start to the year, and Jameson Taillon, who I think we can all say his best days are behind him. So we got the nerfy, right? I mean, Tatis started off the scoring in the bottom of the 3rd with a solo home run, and I understand both of the top of the orders for both these teams are great, especially the Padres. But we get a guy like Iminaga on the mound. We know the nasty stuff he's got. I think he's able to go out there and get 3 outs. And I understand 1, 2, 3 is Tatis, Arise, Machado. That's difficult. It is. Gavin Sheets is coming up after, then Xander Bogaerts. It's a good top of the order, but if there's a pitcher, and this is what I like to do at nerfies a lot, we take a really good lineup like the Padres, like the Dodgers, but match them up against a really good pitcher like a Shota Iminaga. He's going to go out there and get us 3 outs. You look at the other side of things, Randy Vasquez versus the Chicago Cubs. It's the more favorable side of things, 100%. Kyle Tucker went 0 for 4 yesterday, but he's still very elite, right? Kyle Tucker batting .307 this season, and we know what he can do. There's a lot of really good bats in this lineup. But you get a guy like Ian Happ at the top of the order. We know the power he's got. Average is down, so we'll see. Kyle Tucker, yes, he can hurt you. But then you get Justin Turner in the 3 spot. And Michael Busch, who's been killing the baseball all year long in the 4. Hopefully he does not get to a guy like Michael Busch. And Vasquez can give us 1, 2, 3 with Happ, Tucker, and Turner. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards in this game. Again, the nerfy hit yesterday. And there were 22 combined hits and 14 combined runs in that game between Chicago and San Diego. I fully expect the Padres to win this baseball game. I believe they're underdogs in this spot, and I did consider playing this as a money line straight up in today's video as well. They're plus 120. But we are going to go with the nerfy instead against San Diego, undefeated at home at 11-0. I just think we get no runs in the first inning. I trust in Shota. Bounce back start after a pretty brutal one against the Texas Rangers in his last one at home. And then Randy Vasquez has looked fairly decent this season. His toughest start was against the Cubs, but he's already seen these guys once this season. I think he's going to have a much better swing at things this time around. And I'm going to take the nerfy here in San Diego, California, between the Chicago Cubs and the Padres. Iminaga, Vasquez, give us 6 outs. Let's get it done. The definitely, I think, tougher part is going to be the bottom half of the inning. I know Shota's great, but it is going to be rough dealing with Tatis, with Machado, with the Rise. I think we're going to be okay, though. We're taking Shota. We're trusting in Shota and the Cubs, and, of course, the Padres as well with Randy Vasquez to just get us 6 outs. We move on to our next best bet of the video. We move to the St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros. This is the first money line. We're going the Houston Astros today, minus 135. This line opened at minus 125. It has now shifted, obviously, to this, and I'm okay with that. We're taking the Houston Astros here. They lost yesterday 8-3 to the St. Louis Cardinals. That's fine. I mean, you know, the Astros pitched their best guy in Framber Valdez, who hasn't really been elite this year. He's good. We know Valdez is probably going to bounce back eventually, but ERA of 4.5 this season. He's seen better days. And, you know, if there's ever going to be a night that the St. Louis Cardinals are going to win, it's going to be on Sonny Gray bump day. Gray in his mid-30s now. He's been pitching for a very long time, 35. We know how good that guy is, right? So I'm okay with that. That's not a horrible loss from the Astros. We picked the Astros last time around when Hunter Brown was on the bump in Seattle, Washington against the Mariners. They should have won that game. Brown pitched a very good ball game, and if you had first 5 money line, you would have won. Obviously, again, the Mariners came storming back. But we're going with Hunter Brown again. I think this is a guy who's been very productive this season for the Astros. Hunter Brown in 3 starts this season has a 2 ERA. You look at every game he's pitched, he's gone 6 innings against Seattle, against Minnesota, and against the New York Mets. Again, that Seattle start, he goes 6 innings, no runs allowed, and if his team eventually loses that game 7-6. It was the Arozarena Grand Slam. They're up 5-1, and they end up losing 7-6. Ridiculous stuff. But Hunter Brown's been very good, whether it be whether it be pitching for strikeouts, pitching to contact, he's found ways to get outs. I mean, the toughest start he had all year was his first against the New York Mets. Only gave up 2 runs on 4 hits in 6 innings. I mean, 7 strikeouts. And also, Hunter Brown's not going to allow any free passes. He did in that Mets start, but he's really figured it out since. You look at that Twins game, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 0 walks, 8 strikeouts. That Mariners start, again, Seattle got themselves out, which they tend to do a lot, but he goes 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. I mean, that's productive stuff out of Hunter Brown. I expect to get a really good start out of him tonight. And we look at the Astros bats. I mean, it's just been the epitome of mid. I don't really know how else to state that. I haven't been blown away with anything that this team has done offensively. Yordan Alvarez is slowly figuring it out. Altuve's been decent all year long. Isaac Paredes, it is what it is. Brandon Rogers will give you a couple good at-bats if he's in the lineup. They still haven't figured it out, I'll just be honest. But they get Eric Fetty on the mound, you know, big free agency pickup for the squad. Former National, goes to the KBO. Of course, he performs there, comes back to the States, pitches very well for the Chicago White Sox, and now here he is in St. Louis. He's been okay. Last start against the Pirates goes 6 innings, 0 runs, 0 hits, 4 walks. But that's against the Pirates, and of course, the Nationals make the Pirates look like, the Bronx Bombers out there. But it's okay. That's just, I don't put much into a Pirates start. Again, good performance out of Fetty. I'm not going to say he's not great. I'm not going to say he's not good, but I think he's going to see, he's going to deal with some more, difficulties in this start. I mean, look at his start in Boston. He goes 3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks. The walks are always going to be there for Fetty. It was something that he dealt with a lot of problems with in the nation's capital with the Nationals. In back-to-back starts with the Reds and Pirates, he's walked 4 guys in each start. I mean, if you allow that many free passes, I do feel like a lineup like the Astros is going to take advantage. I understand, again, they haven't been hot this year, but when you look at a lineup with guys like a Christian Walker, who hasn't been great, like a Yordan Alvarez, who's kind of figuring it out now, with like Jeremy Pena at the bottom of the order. I mean, I feel like if you allow that many free passes, this team is going to sting you. And I'm still not impressed with the Cardinals lineup. I think it's honestly on paper one of the weaker lineups in all of the MLB. That's kind of what the NL Central just is, with the exception of the Chicago Cubs and the Brewers. And the Reds, and Ellie De La Cruz. I'm not sold on anything the Cardinals have. I feel like they're an aging team that has brought in a lot of young talent, like a Jordan Walker, like a Pages at the bottom of the lineup, like a Nolan Gorman. Those guys just aren't ready to win big-time games and win consistently in the MLB. Yes, the Lars Nootbaar is here. Contreras is starting at first. You got Nolan Arenado, who has actually had a really good season, but no one's really going to pay attention to it because he's with the Cardinals, and we're kind of just waiting for Arenado to eventually get moved and waive that no-trade clause, which might happen sooner rather than later. Hell, he hit a home run last night. This team isn't equipped to win multiple games in a row. I think the Astros get them tonight, and I honestly have liked what we've gotten out of Hunter Brown all year long. I think Hunter Brown and the Astros go to St. Louis, Missouri, to Busch Stadium, and Busch Park. I've been there before. I didn't go to a game. Regardless, I'm taking the Houston Astros. They're minus 135 favorites to beat the St. Louis Cardinals on the road in Missouri. We move on to our next best bet. See, this is where I butchered the graphic. It is our two-leg parlay. This is where the nerfy was supposed to be. But anyways, we adjust on the fly. Athletics, Yankees, parlay. So we hit in the last parlay. I think I'm going to start doing this instead of two money lines, because we have the Nationals best bet, which I'll be honest, half the times does turn out to be a money line bet. I'll just be honest with you guys. And for the remainder of this road trip, it's going to be a lot of money lines for the Nationals. And then once we go back to DC, it will be more player props and team overs and whatnot and team run overs. But I am very confident. Well, not confident, but kind of. But I think the Nationals are in a position where they should be winning games. So we're going to stick with their money line for a little bit. We might change it up tomorrow. But regardless, I am going to go to the parlay here instead of just three money lines, including the Nationals. So we're going to go money line parlay here with the Sacramento Athletics, or just the Athletics, and the New York Yankees. We'll start with the first game, I guess. It's the Yankees against the Royals. Yeah, I like this spot for the Yankees. Just the pitching matchup right away. Max Fried's been dominant so far for the Yankees. I understand this team has been very shaky. They win yesterday against the Kansas City Royals 4-1, right? Jazz Chisholm finally gets back on track, hits a home run after his, hot two games to start the year. He's now batting 175, hits a home run yesterday. This Yankees lineup, we know his potential. Aaron Judge is an all-time great. We understand that. They just need to figure it out. I still think this team's going to win the division. I'd be very, I can see Baltimore getting it, but guys, the O's haven't been that good either this year. I don't know. The American League as a whole is just kind of weird. You got all these juggernauts in the National League, where, of course, my favorite team plays. And right now, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are 9-6 in first place of the AL West. The New York Yankees are 9-7, and they're in first place of their division. I mean, it's just the Detroit Tigers are the best team in the American League. They started 0-3, and they're now 10-6, and they're the top team in the entire league. What? Anyways, I'm taking the Yankees to beat the Royals here. I think it's a good spot. I think it's a good spot for the Yankees, right? Max Fried's been good this season. He hasn't just been good; he's been very good, right? 2 starts so far for Max Fried. 2 wins this year for Max Fried over 3 starts. The Yankees have won every single game Fried has pitched this season. Yes, he's a little shaky in that first start against the Brewers in that same game where the Yankees ended up scoring 20 runs. But in back-to-back starts after that, he goes 5 2/3 against the Pirates, 6 hits, 1 run. Tigers start, he goes 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, and 11 strikeouts in that game as well. Yeah, Max Fried's been pretty good. The Royals tonight will be sending Michael Wacha to the mound. Unk's been around for a while, but, he can still, Unk's still got it some. You're facing the Yankees lineup in their Mickey Mouse ballpark. Yeah, that's a little difficult. It just is, right? I mean, you look at this lineup. For as much struggles as we've been talking about with like Jazz and with Cody Bellinger, there's still, sub 200 batting averages. Ben Rice is batting 300. Aaron Judge is batting 367. Paul Goldschmidt's batting 367. Trent Grisham had a very hot April. Very hot. Well, he is having a very hot April. I was thinking he's the reward card, and that will be the show for April's best players. Regardless, he's having a good April. Trent Grisham is at the bottom of the lineup. Hell, Oswaldo Cabrera is batting fairly well too. I think the Yankees can get the better of Michael Wacha. That's honestly what I think here. Again, it's hard to go to Yankee Stadium and beat this team. Hell, this was what we saw in the American League Divisional Series last year, and the Yankees beat this Royals team, right? I know, again, different teams, different years, but the Royals had 2 hits all game yesterday against Carlos Carrasco and company, right? Nothing against Carrasco, but he's 38 years old. He's got a 6 ERA, and the Royals made him look like Nolan Ryan, right? They score 1 run in the 3rd inning. It's a Bobby Witt homer. That's usually all of their offensive support, and the rest of the team has 1 hit the entire game. Oh, that was Bobby Witt's as well. So Bobby Witt had 2 hits all game long. The Royals go 2 for 29 at the plate. Yeah, that's not a winning formula. So if you're struggling that much against Carrasco, I get it. Different matchup now. You get a lefty in Fried. I still don't think this is going to go very well for the Royals. I'm taking Max Fried and the Yankees to win this part of the parlay. And oh yeah, we still have the Athletics. I think the A's beat the White Sox. That's not too tough of a pick to make. Unfortunately, the A's have not been as good as we thought they were going to be. I don't know why ESPN's matchup predictor has the White Sox as favorites. I think Sean Burke's got good stuff. He just hasn't shown it yet, and he's got lit up pretty early in back-to-back starts against the Twins and the Guardians. And the A's are a team that can do that to you as well. Oddly enough, the Athletics are playing much better on the road than they are at home this season. They're 6-4 at home, I believe, are on the road, and 2-7 at home this season. Lawrence Butler is having a phenomenal year. He's likely this team's all-star. Brent Rooker has struggled out the gates, but I think he's going to turn things around. You look at a guy like Tyler Soderstrom, who's having a great start to the season as well. Andujar, Jacob Wilson's been a very good rookie for this team. I don't know if he's still considered a rookie because he did play last year, but he got injured. I think he's still a rookie. They just got to figure it out, and they're playing the White Sox. It's a great series to figure it out. I mean, you get a guy, Jeffrey Springs, on the mound. I'm not concerned about the White Sox lineup. I'm just not. I'm going to be honest. I'm not moved. Nobody is. So I think we're fine there. Jeffrey Springs, that's a veteran pitcher from the Tampa Bay Rays who should be able to manage his way and navigate his way through the Chicago White Sox bats. And yeah, the A's struggled at home against the Mets. Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of teams are going to struggle with the Mets. I think we look at the A's, and you look at the record, they're 6-10. Look at the teams they've played so far, though, guys. Mariners, they win 2 of 3. They get swept by the Cubs. They beat the Rockies 2 out of 3. Padres get them 2 out of 3 times. And the Mets get them 2 out of 3 times. All right. Those are good teams they're playing. This is the team they should be able to beat up on. I'm taking the A's to beat up on the White Sox. Sean Burke, I think he's got potential. I just haven't seen it yet. So I'm taking the A's in the spot. A's, Yankees, moneyline parlay, plus 145 in the odds. It's great value, I believe, for what we're getting it at. Let's move on to our final best bet of the day. It's our best player prop. I'm going Teoscar Hernandez over 1.5 total bases. Now, Teo did not play yesterday. He was out due to, I believe, a stomach bug. So I assume Teo's going to be back. That's not the type of thing that usually holds you out multiple days, like we saw with Nathaniel Lowe for the Washington Nationals. I assume Teo's going to be back. Okay, and if he is, 1, flu game, 2, it's a great spot against Ryan Feltner. It just is. Career-wise, Teoscar Hernandez hits 500 against Feltner. No, it's not over 4 at-bats, it's over 8. But Teo is 4 for 8 overall against Ryan Feltner. We know how bad the Rockies bullpen can be. So if Teo gets into that bullpen, the Dodgers are obviously eventually going to get into that Colorado bullpen. Opportunity for Teoscar Hernandez. And I think he can really get this with one swing against Feltner. I think there's a very good chance Teo goes yard. Hernandez has been very good this season, right? You look at that Cubs series, right? Hits in 2 out of 3 of those games. He had a hit every single game of the Washington Nationals series. Hell, he had 3 hits in the final game against the Philadelphia Phillies. Teo's been a hit machine. The extra base hits have been kind of at a premium in some games. I don't think he's had an extra base hit since that Phillies series. It's just been, he hit homer against the Nationals. So, again, I think the easiest pathway to this, I'll be honest, is 2 singles or a home run. I'm just going to be honest. A double, there's potential Teo plugs a gap here, but I really think the biggest thing for him in this game is either going to be via the long ball or via 2-base knocks. Personally, I'm leaning towards the 2-base knocks because I think that's just more likely, obviously. It's a great matchup. Again, he's 4 for 8 career-wise against Feltner. Teo has been able to jump on counts early against him in the past. I believe we're going to see that again today, as long as he's in the lineup, which I do expect him to be. I just think the Dodgers are going to get a lot of at-bats. I think there's a chance this game, again, we'll see if the Dodgers bat in the bottom half of the ninth. I know this is, again, a thing that, you're going to get 3 more team at-bats. I don't see this game being a blowout, I'm going to be honest. I know the Rockies have looked horrible, and they've played potentially their worst 4-game stretch in franchise history, and don't get me wrong, they're going to be able to right all those wrongs against the Washington Nationals this weekend in Colorado. But regardless, I think the Rockies are going to play a closer game. Landon Knack's on the mound for the Rockies. We saw Knack really struggle against the Washington Nationals. Knack's on the mound for the Dodgers against the Rockies. We saw Knack really struggle in D.C. last week. I think the Rockies are going to be able to get hits against them, which is going to force the Dodgers bats to step up at the same time. I know, again, it's early in the season, but this team is a third-place team in their division behind the Padres and the Giants. I think, again, you look at the Dodgers, right? This is a team that knows series like this against the Rockies, you have to win them all. There's no room for error for these squads because they shouldn't be close with teams like the Rockies. So I think they'll step up to the plate because I do think Landon Knack is going to give up runs at the same time. And I think Teo is going to be able to continue to hit very well against Ryan Feltner. You look at the entire Dodgers team. Yeah, Teo does bat the best all time against Feltner. Next up, a guy like Freddie Freeman, but he's 3 for 11 all time against Feltner. So I feel like this is the best spot for us in this game, and that's why I'm going with it. Teoscar Hernandez, over 1.5 total bases, either with 2 singles or a home run, or hell, even a double. We'll take any one of them. Give me Teo to go over tonight at the Chavez Ravine in Los Angeles, California. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for April 15th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.